Hello everybody, it's Joe and I'm so glad to have you back here at the workbench again. So glad after all this time. And I want to talk to you today about something that probably isn't going to affect much of what you do, but it does answer some questions and I find it interesting, so maybe you'll find it interesting. Have you ever downloaded a model online and when you imported it into your slicing software on your computer, you noticed that instead of being oriented properly like this handsome fellow, it was instead laying down on its back looking up at the sky, and you had to rotate it 90 degrees in order to get it to where it belonged. Why? Why do some models lay down and other models stand up? Well, the answer is because nobody can agree on which direction Z should be pointing. Let me give you an example. Let me take you back to when you were in school, in grade school, and your teacher was teaching you about the Cartesian coordinate plane. Do you remember this? They went up to the board and they drew like this, right? And they said, here's the X and here's the Y, right? And then you, being a good student that I know you all were, you went back to your desk and you wrote on your piece of paper just what you saw on the board. And there's the X and there's the Y. See, like that, right? And your teacher, you were just copying what was on the board, and your teacher looked at the board and looked at your paper and saw that they were the same, patted you on the head, good job, and you got exactly what you wanted. That's all you ever wanted in life, and you were happy. And then your teacher blew your mind and said, you know, this X and Y, this is fine when we're talking about a piece of paper or the whiteboard, but in the real world, where we have dimension and space, we need to be able to go out from here. We need a third one. We'll call it Z. And it goes out like this, but we're going to draw it like this on our board. And your mind was blown. And you took your paper at your desk and you adjusted. You said, okay, well, my Z goes that way, but we're going to draw it like this. And there we go. There it is. Did I do that Z backwards? Still. So there it is. And it looks, you know, the same, and your teacher looked at the board, and looked at your paper, and patted you on the head. Good student. And you shouldn't have accepted that at that point. You should have stood up and rocked the boat and said, teacher, there's a fundamental difference between what you wrote and what I wrote, and we need to get this sorted out because either you're wrong or I'm wrong. Do you see what the difference is? This Z is going this direction. This Z is going that direction. And either you need to stand every piece of paper you've drawn the Cartesian coordinate plane on up and point it at your face, or your teacher needs to lay his whiteboard down. Well, the truth is, no. Both are okay and both can live in harmony in this world. You just have to recognize that sometimes some software wants to take the Z and point it towards you, and some software wants to take the Z and point it straight up. Why am I running Minecraft back here? Well, because in a 3D video game like Minecraft here, you see both of these things happening. When you're moving around in these worlds, and if you pull up what do they call it in Minecraft? Anyways, if you look at the way the map is working in the game, X and Y is the plane that you're moving around in, and Z is jumping up. Just like on your piece of paper, sitting on your desk. But when they draw it on the screen, this screen isn't three-dimensional. This screen is flat. It has an X going across this way and a Y going down because the screen draws from left to right, top to bottom. And the Z is represented by the various layers. You see this menu right here? This menu is in front of the drawing, the flat image that the three-dimensional image is rendered into. So it's a more forward Z depth, and so is the writing on here. And in fact, so is your swords and your arms. Everything's layered in Z depth in these video games. So here, right here, it's like your teacher's whiteboard with X and Y, but never mind, going this way and Z coming towards you. In Blender, X, Y, and Z are like on your piece of paper. Z is going up. But in ZBrush, X, Y, and Z is like your teacher's whiteboard. X and Y are going this way, Z is coming towards you because they think of everything as relief, and that's fine. Your 3D printer probably thinks of everything like your piece of paper here. X and Y is the major axis of movement, and Z is the up and down. And so most slicer softwares think of things like this, with X and Y being this way and Z going up. But if a piece of software was designed with its Z going this way, when it's imported into the slicer and the coordinates are still X, Y, and Z, it's going to be laying down because in the slicer the Z is going up. And all you have to do is rotate it and everything's fine. Now, I'd like to say that there's a right answer and the people doing it the other way are wrong, but you really can't. That's just not fair. The truth is, there's enough room in this world for everybody, so let's not make a stink about it and just realize why it's happening. Simon's right there to remind you to like, share, subscribe, and enjoy. Like, subscribe, share, and enjoy. Nobody's managed to get that reference that they've mentioned. I want to apologize for not making videos in a long time. Well, it feels like a long time. I have actually been making videos for a project that I will tell you more about when it goes live. And also, I've had Wood Wars keeping me busy for a while. The Kickstarter launched for it, and the Kickstarter got shut down for it when it was clear that it wasn't going to succeed. So I'm going to be working on it some more, polishing it some more, making it more presentable, getting it into more people's hands, and I will be relaunching that Kickstarter. So if you haven't learned about Wood Wars, I'll put a link wherever links are found for that. I hope you'll sign up for the mailing list so that you could be first online to know when this is going live. But yeah, thank you for watching.